Hi guys, this is going to be a demonstration speedrun of Star Wars Dark Forces for the All Secrets category. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Go ahead and get started. So the first thing to point out about this is the numbers at the top right of the screen. That has a bunch of coordinates and stuff. Those aren't useful. What's useful is the letter S and the percentage next to it, because that lets us know the percentage of secrets found on the map. And for this category, that's kind of important, because that needs to be 100 after every level is finished in order to get all secrets. And that's just kept up there for convenience sake and to help verify that you did in fact, trigger the secrets. So, a neat thing with this game is that the way that levels work is that there's objectives, and when all the objectives are finished, you get a prompt to go to the next level, and you can basically do that at any time. So a lot of times on certain maps we will be completing objectives and then going back and getting the rest of the secrets. As you can see, it says mission complete, but we still haven't gotten all the secrets, so we're going to do that. So, as that implies, realistically, I could be done with this level right now if I wanted to. But the trick with all secrets is just it adds a bunch of extra stuff you have to do, and that sounds kind of arbitrary, but it does make this run very fun. And a lot of the really detailed sections of the maps of Dark Forces get skipped in any percent. So this is kind of cool because you get to see a lot of stuff you wouldn't normally see. There are also some maps like this one where the secrets route is basically identical to the any percent route, but the secrets are just kind of along the way, which is kind of nice because it's not out of the way to get them. So there are a couple maps like this, which is not too bad. But one thing you'll notice me do a lot is I will go into secret areas just to trigger the secret, not actually collect the items, because you don't need to collect the items in a secret area to count as completing the secret, or collecting the secret, I guess you should say, like that. So we will often do that just to save time, and because there's also a lot of times secrets with items we don't really need. Like that one, for example. And we'll be able to abuse that part of the all secrets category and the mechanic of collecting the secrets with a little bit more of a unintended way later on in the game, and I'll explain that when I get there. But the main thing is to just get into the area and trigger getting the secret in order to get the completion. So this is the third level of the game, Anowit. The first chunk of it, we're going to be going over here to get some secrets. Gotta be careful with this one so you don't fall. This one here, and then this one inside of the secret. We're going to do an explosive jump back up here. That's a thing that exists in this game, and we'll be using thermal detonators for a lot of it, just because they're very convenient to use for it, and there's a lot of them in the game. We're going to carefully position ourselves here. Carefully. And boom. I had a little bit of a bad setup, so I was a little slow on that jump, but that TD jump skips pretty much the entire level. You're supposed to go to 3 different parts of the map and hit 3 different switches to raise the water level to get here, but the explosive jump just skips all of that. Which is also a nice thing because of how the secrets are laid out on this map. It still lets you save a lot of time on here. So now we're going on to research. Research is where we're going to start seeing explosive jumps used a lot more, because they're very useful on this map. And in this map, for any percent, we would do the objective, and then this entrance we take here, we would do explosive jumps out to save time. But because we have to get the secrets, we actually have to go through this map pretty much the intended way. We're not going to do all the objectives the intended way, but we do have to go through the map pretty much as you're supposed to. Alright, so that code there is the same every time. You're supposed to collect keys for it to figure out the code, but since we already know it, we don't really need to do that. And we do an explosive jump there to save some time on a switch puzzle. That jump is very tricky. And if I fail it, I will lose probably like 30 seconds. But we don't need to worry about that. So now we need to just get the secrets and get out of here. See right here. But as you can see, in case you haven't seen with some of the maps in Dark Forces are actually some of them are pretty detailed and pretty complex. And as I've said before, that's kind of the fun thing about all secrets, is routing with that is unique because you have to really know the levels a lot more. And also you get to explore a lot of areas you don't normally see in any percent. And because of that, you gotta kind of come up with new ways to save time because of that. So yeah, we've got almost every secret. We're just gonna go straight to the end now. We're gonna trigger the ending and get the last secret. The last secret we get is actually at the very beginning of the map. It's faster to get it at the end, though, than it is to get it at the beginning. Oh, shoot. That was an accident. It's okay, though. I hit a respawn trigger, which was nice. Alrighty, so now we're on Chromis. Chromis is almost the same as it is in any percent, because luckily... Oh, shoot. Luckily, all the secrets are literally in one spot, so you kind of just get them all at once. The trick with this level is we need to get to a certain point in the map by a certain time in order to save time. So we're kind of on a clock to get there. So we want to do this as quickly as we can. That was kind of unlucky because I got stuck and the enemy was just continuously shooting me, so now my health is really low. That's just kind of unlucky, but you know, that kind of thing doesn't happen a lot because there's really not a lot of RNG in this game. But because of that, I am going to play it a little bit safe, because if I fall, I'm going to die. So we are going to be just a little conservative here, which means we're not going to make it in time, but it's okay, because even if we had, you know, more even if we did the fast fall strat there, we would still not have enough health to survive, and we would have to wait anyways. Oh, that was unfortunate. So we made that jump across there. That saves a bit of time because you don't have to get a key and do a very roundabout way of getting there. It's a little bit tricky though. There's a safer route, but I don't know why I didn't do it. But normally when we get to this point, if we don't have to wait on that rising piston, we can it means we save time, but since we are waiting on it, it means we didn't get here fast enough, and like I said, it's kind of expected. This level didn't go great at the beginning because of my health. Also, we're doing some damage to this boss early by using the alt-fire mode of the thermal detonators to clip them through the wall. Unfortunately, not all of them went through, which is fine. The trick's kind of finicky, so it's expected. But that just makes that boss fight a little bit easier. If you get all the TDs through the wall, or a good amount of them through the wall, you can kill that boss really quickly without even having to see him. But like I said, we didn't get that, so it's fine. It's not that much of a time loss there. There are worse things that could happen on this map. Alrighty, so now we're going on Detention. Detention is the one map on this game that has the most secrets. There's a lot of them, and all of them are basically blowing away a hidden wall somewhere in the level to get the secret area. So we are going to be using a lot of thermal detonators on this map. So we do have to be a little careful not to use too many so we have enough going into the next level, but yeah, you'll see very soon that all the secrets are pretty much the same thing in this map. So normally this level is also really short because one of the secrets is actually a secret developer-intended route to get to the end area quicker without having to collect keys. But we do have to explore a bit of the level in order to get all the secret areas. But luckily we don't have to go too out of our way to get to them because they're all relatively within the same area, which is just accessible by this first elevator. This level is extremely complicated, and one of those levels where people casually just kind of gave up because it is very hard to figure out where you're going and what you're supposed to be doing. So, God forbid somebody tries to find all the secrets, too. That's already enough of a challenge. But the other thing with this level is the main objective requires, like research, us to know a password, which we collect keycards to figure out. But since we already know the password because it never changes, we don't have to do that, and that's very convenient because it saves a ton of backtracking through this level. And especially even with this category, all secrets, we want to find as many places to save time as we can. Alright, so getting into this secret area is a pain because it's extremely finicky. For some reason, you just don't go in there sometimes. It's a very small window of access. Alright, and this is the secret route to get to where we need to be. Alright, we got a pretty good cycle on the compactor, which means we don't have to wait on it. That's good. That means we went pretty fast. And there we go. It's the end of Detention. Now we're on Ramseh's Head. Ramseh's Head is, has a few secrets that we do have to go a little out of our way to get, but nothing drastic. Go up here, get some shields. But I also don't have a lot of thermal detonators, that kind of stinks. I also picked up the mortar gun. We don't usually get that in any percent, but it is useful for death warping purposes, primarily, in this category. Okay, so I was really lucky, by the way, because I had just enough thermal detonators to make that jump. If I didn't, I would have wasted quite a bit of time trying to do it the way I was supposed to. So, just gonna make our way through these hallways. This level is pretty straightforward. It's a little bit, here's a silly secret, by the way, here. This actually isn't a secret area, even though it's like a completely normally inaccessible area. What it does, though, is it opens up this secret area. So you go through that hidden wall to get to that area instead. You know, really interesting secret design choice there. But, come on, open up, thank you. Okay, this is the mortar gun. We're gonna be using it to take some damage, because we're gonna death warp once we pick up this key in this room. Just to save a very small amount of time, but it's enough to justify it. And it's convenient to do, so it's like you don't even lose time doing it. We still have a few more secrets, and those are luckily going to be all in this last room we go to. Out of the way, please. That's very unlucky. I don't know if I mentioned it, but enemy RNG usually isn't something you have to worry about in this game. Sometimes you get things like that, where the enemies will just be in the way, but for the most part, it's not an issue. Now we got all the secrets. Also, there's some secrets in this game, like the one I did at the beginning of that room, where I'm not sure how if you're supposed to know that explosive boosting exists in this game, or if there's some way to do it without it, but the developers had to have known that this was a thing in the game, and had to have incorporated it into the secret finding. This is Robotics, by the way. This level's pretty fun. And as I mentioned before, in the process of collecting secrets, all you have to do is be in the room. So if you pay attention to the percentage counter here... Oh, that's not good. Not a big deal, though. I can just get back up, hopefully. There we go. And there you go. So yeah, we just barely pass over all the areas where the secrets are down there, so we don't actually have to go to them. It's a very, very convenient way to save time. Of course I fell, which is whatever, but it's kind of nice because that means you got to see what exactly it is we were skipping. But it does save a bit of time to just peek over and get those secrets, as opposed to actually getting them. You need to get through this window, thank you. Alrighty. So we're getting close to the main objective here. Open up, please, thank you. I don't know if I've mentioned this, I probably haven't, but I probably should have. The physics for sliding against walls in this game are a bit ridiculous. So oftentimes if I make a movement error, I'll just slide out of control and it's kind of obnoxious, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Because for the most part, the movement in this game is actually pretty crisp and responsive. So here, after we set these charges, we're gonna have our first fight with the real Dark Trooper. There's the robotic melee Dark Troopers, but they're not much of a threat. These guys won't be much of one either if I can get to the weapon supercharge. But he's not letting me, that's kind of bad. Alright, that's actually really bad. I gotta fight this guy. Very slow now because I don't have weapon supercharge. Normally weapon supercharge makes this fight super easy, but I am really unlucky. And he was guarding it, so there we go. That was a little bit slower. That's unfortunate. That's not something that would normally happen, but, you know, it is what it is. Just got to adapt to the situation. Because of something like that, though, I am going to lose a bit of time. But it shouldn't be, that big of a deal. But yeah, normally what you would do is you'd get the weapon supercharge that he was by, and you would use that to kill him in just a matter of seconds. That didn't happen, obviously, but, you know, what are you gonna do? Definitely picking up this extra life, though I need it. Alrighty, so now we're on Nar Shaddaa. So fun fact about this level, this is actually the shortest level on any percent, because you can just thermal detonator jump straight to the end. However, we do need to get all the secrets, so we'll be going through a lot of this level. The next 3 levels are all radically different from how they are in any percent, and they're 3 of my favorite parts of the entire run, because of just how much more you have to do. And with Nar Shaddaa in particular, Nar Shaddaa is a pretty hard level to navigate. So you do get to see some of the cooler things in here, and also just what exactly it is you would be skipping. Alright, so we're gonna get these secrets. We're also gonna be doing a little bit of a weird route here. This is gonna skip us getting a key, however we have to deal with enemies shooting us like that, which is kind of a bit of a luck-based thing, but normally it's not going to affect you too much. A lot of times I will shoot enemies on that side just so that I don't have to worry about them. But the Trandoshans in particular fire concussion rifles, and those can really mess you up. And we just peek over the edge of that elevator to trigger the secret, and that saves a bit of time. It saves us having to actually ride it. Alright, one last secret over here to get. And we're almost out of here. So we're gonna do a TD jump here. This skips us having to get the other key that we need for this level. It's a bit of a convenient time save. Move around him. And one thing I never mentioned is about this weapon right here, the repeater. You can do a lot of damage at once with it, just by using the primary fire and the alternate fire one after another. Because the primary fire shoots 1 shot and the alternate fire fires 3 at once. So you can basically do 4 shots worth of damage simultaneously. So at the beginning of this level, we lose all of our gear. That's why I'm punching this thing. I promise it's not for comedic value. But there's 3 objectives we have to get here, which is getting our gear back, so we have weapons again. And then we also have to get a blue Navicard and also rescue Jan ores. In any percent, we would do the objectives out of order. Out of the intended order, I should say. But we're going to be doing this level pretty much the intended way, which is radically different than how it is in any percent. Again, just kind of going off that point of those 3 big levels that are very different in this category versus any percent. This one has a lot of hazards at the beginning, which is why we get that shield supercharge, because it lets us get through this section a lot easier without having to worry about taking damage. Or shield damage, I should say, because you can still take damage like that, because Gamorreans do physical damage, which ignores shields. So shield supercharge doesn't protect you from that. The other note about the Gamorreans is that they do 40 damage, so they can kill you in literally 3 hits. Alright, I missed that jump, that's fine, I can just TD jump up here. And do it again here. So yeah, enemies that do physical damage are very, very much a problem in this game, because they can kill you very quickly. Alrighty. And it's actually good that I've made a few mistakes, because it is important to know how to, you know, damage control if things don't go right during the run. Because there is this category in particular, there's a lot that could go wrong if you're not careful. So you do need to know how to avoid losing too much time if things don't go the optimal way. But I've run this category for a long time, so I kind of, at this point, know pretty much what I need to do at any given point. Or have at least an idea of how to figure out what to do. Another enemy manipulation here, just by shooting that wall. Gets the Gamorrean out of the way. And now coming up here is, without a doubt, the most annoying secret in this entire game, because I do not know how the heck you are supposed to know it's here. Ever. And I don't know how you're supposed to get that without knowing how to blow yourself up. Which is that switch right here. That's not the secret. The secret has been revealed by hitting that switch.
Thanks.
Which is down here. And the worst part about it is that there's not even anything useful in there. So now we're on to Imperial City. Alrighty. So that brief moment there of me shooting the wall was actually me using splash damage to kill the boss behind that wall, which is Boba Fett. That is the thing you're supposed to do at the very end of this level. And most of the time when you play this game, you are required to complete all the objectives to trigger the ending, but this level's the one exception. So now we have basically ended the mission, and at any percent we would be done, but we have to get the rest of the secrets, and it is very convenient that we can just do that at the beginning of this level, because this level is, in my opinion, the most difficult level in the game to figure out what you're supposed to do. Well, maybe the second difficult. It's kind of a toss-up between this and Detention, but this level suffers from the effect of every room looking the same, so it's very hard to tell where you're going. And on top of that, there is a puzzle in this later section of this level that's, if you screw up, you have to do the entire thing over, so you would waste a lot of time. Alrighty, so luckily we can get all the secrets before then. But as you can see, there's a lot of things to get through first. You don't even see this building in any percent. Yikes, alright, I need to get on there. So now we're going to pick up the assault cannon. Usually this is the first place you can pick it up. And normally we don't see this until the second to the last level in any percent. But we do get it pretty early here. This is the most powerful weapon in the game. This is the weapon that Dark Troopers use. So it does a massive amount of damage. Alright, so now we're on Fuel Station. Fuel Station's kind of a boring level. There are only 2 secrets on this map and the next one, which is kind of strange considering it's towards the end of the game. But this level has a really silly secret. You have to get a key card for it. And normally if you pick up a key card or you see a locked door, you'd think that that's probably something that's related to the level, but it isn't. So we have to go out of our way to get this blue key for the one secret I'm talking about. You'll see it momentarily. And the intended way to do this level requires you to rotate a slow-moving platform to get from one side of the map to the next. But that's boring, so we're gonna do TD jumps. Alright, I got lucky there. Where's the Trandoshan at? Alright, he's not nearby, I'm not worried about it. Normally there's a Trandoshan that's like guarding the edge there, and he can throw off your trajectory or knock you off the platform if you're not careful. Usually you want to shoot him, but he's on the way. By the way, this is the secret. That one section is locked by a blue key card. And that's the objective itself, which you don't need a key card for, in the same room. And there's one more secret we have to get, which does require us to go a little out of our way. We're gonna hopefully TD jump to it, but this one's a little bit awkward. Nope, we got it, good. Those jumps are really kind of, they're not hard, but they are a little bit awkward because of the position you need to take. And again, we just peek over the edge to get that secret. It saves us having to go down there and then ride an elevator back up. Saves a lot of time. So now we're pretty much done with this level, we just need to get to the end. But yeah, like I said, this map only has 2 secrets, the next map is the same thing, it only has 2. So these levels aren't terribly complicated in this category. Oh, darn it. With the elevators, you can actually try to activate them early by hitting action before you actually get into them. And if you hit it at the right frame, you can actually activate the elevator without having to use the switch. It's very picky though, so it's not a big deal if you don't get it.
Now launching. I'll see you on the dark side, Jan. Good luck.
Alrighty, now we're on Executor. This level is extremely straightforward compared to most of the other levels in the game. You basically go in one line the entire way through the level. And as I said before, there's also only 2 secrets, so that's kind of nice. I can't make... I'll just die here. My health got really low there, unfortunately, but I can just... Luckily, there's a checkpoint right there, so I can just die and respawn with full health and shields. That's going to be very nice. Alrighty. I'm gonna do the same thing here and die just to have the full shields and health, because I'm gonna do a mine boost coming up here. This is to get to a secret area. We usually actually... Oh, I messed up. That's fine. I can do it again. I have enough health for that. But yeah. We actually usually go to this area in any percent to get the assault cannon. So, quite literally, the all secrets route only has 1 secrets difference compared to any percent. Which is that one right there, and that completely not obvious hole in the wall. Alright, now we need to kill 3 Dark Troopers in order to get to the next part. Which the assault cannon, as you can see, is going to make this very easy. This weapon's already powerful enough on its own, so adding weapon supercharge to it definitely makes it really overpowered. And for this section here, we just have to hit these switches. We have to wait for this transport to get to them, though, unfortunately, so there's no way to speed that up. So unfortunately, it's a bit of a waiting game here. There we go. And now we're on to the last level of the game, which is the arc hammer. This level's already pretty long in any percent. I missed that jump, that's totally fine. But there's a couple of secrets we have to go out of our way to get. Doesn't add a ton of time to the run, but it's, I mean, at this point it already is like one of the longest levels, so it's like, why not just throw some more stuff in there? Alright, so we have to kill this Dark Trooper. It's not really explicitly obvious you're supposed to do that. But, you actually have to kill him where you can't access the next area of the level. Even if you take a shortcut, you can't access it, because it's blocked off. Which is really interesting. And we're going out of our way to hit that switch in order to get to this one secret right here. And we still have shield supercharge, so we're going to use this barrel to boost ourselves up here. And the main objective is to plant 3 sequence chargers throughout the arc hammer. Very minor time save there. Mind boosting up the elevator. I can't remember who came up with that strat, but it's great. Okay, so this section right here, we have one secret we have to get. If I actually jumped correctly at full speed, that would help. Whoops. Alright. So we're gonna run past this crusher thing. Maybe we're gonna run past this crusher thing if it lets us up here. That was weird. And we're gonna death warp out of there because it's significantly faster than having to go through that crusher again. Oh, come on, really? That was unlucky. And we do a TD jump there to save a little bit of time. It didn't really save that much time because of all the things that got in the way during that, but it's whatever. Anyways, we just got the last secret in the game, so now we've collected all the secrets. Now we just need to beat the game. Wow, my health is really low. I'm actually gonna do something I don't normally do here. Just kill myself to get health back. Because I don't want to die somewhere inconvenient. That's again kind of the whole thing I said, where if things go wrong you need to know how to mitigate it. And knowing where death checkpoints are is really important for that. Alright, so the power of crouch jumping, we can just take that conveyor belt here. Normally we're supposed to ride the conveyor belt and then hit a switch to stop it, but we don't have to do that. And that switch sequence just accesses the next area. The way I shot it is kind of the optimal route to do it because it mitigates waiting time between each section. It's kind of weird to explain that while I'm doing it though, so apologize if you weren't immediately aware of what I was doing there. So now we're coming up on the last room of the game. We have to kill 2 regular Dark Troopers and then fight the final boss. Alright, so that was unlucky. If you're lucky, you can get him to start firing his plasma shots while he's standing up there, and that's very convenient, because it lets you kill him without having to open that door. Alright, time for the final boss fight.
It's been a long time since I've challenged a man to battle. I'm glad my opponent is so worthy.
As you can see, that boss fight's really easy. So yeah, overall, this was an okay run. A little bit of spaghetti, but that's okay. It happens. As long as I go over into my estimated time, which I should easily do. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this run. It's a pretty cool category, and yeah. Hopefully it gets a chance at Agdq this year.